Welcome to the Safe Wheel live stream where I share my P&L on 3 accounts and teach my proprietary Safe Wheel options trade system for free. Please type in the chat that you can hear me okay. I'm going to assume that you can. Also, post any questions that you might have. The earlier, the better. That way we can make sure that I get to those questions. Okay. So let's get started here with the earnings edge. What happened last week? Well, you can see here with the earnings edge last week, I did Procter & Gamble, made $960. This is interesting because I think only a few of my students were able to take this trade. I got in the trade and it immediately went in my favor. So only a few of my students, most of them were not willing to pay more than what I paid. So the fact that they were trying to get in at the same price as me kept them out of the trade. Some other traders, I usually go about 1%. So if you can get within about 1% of what I can get, then go ahead and take the trade. So some people took the trade and they made money. But that was a nice winner. Let's see, my overall record for the earnings edge is 27 wins, 10 losses, and 3 break evens. And ever since I tweaked the system a couple months ago with the new exit criteria, my record is 6 wins and 2 losses. And in 2022, this thing did 63%. And so far this year, 2023, I'm up 8.3%. So this is the way to go ahead. If you want to take a lot of risk and you want to move your account up fast, this is the way I would do it. It started with $5,000. You can see it's closing in on $9,000. Okay, that's the earnings edge. So if you guys have any questions about that, be sure to post it. Let's take a look at the Premier Level 5. The Premier Level 5, I trade options on the E-minis, the /ES. Also SPX, you can if you have a larger account, you can trade SPX with this system. This system did 15% last year, while the S&P was down 20%. And this system had a max drawdown of around 4%, while the S&P had a maximum drawdown of 22%. So it vastly outperformed. Currently, my trading record with this is 13 wins, 2 losses, and 5 break evens, and currently have 2 open trades. Typically we trade about once a week, maybe once every 10 days with this system. And in 2023, we're at break even. We started the year with 33,583 and we're 33,525. So we're pretty much at break even for the year. So what has this been, 2 to 3 weeks? So we're doing good, normal. So that's what's going on with the Premier Level 5. Let's get into the Safe Wheel. That's probably what most of you are here for. Let's see here. Now with the Safe Wheel, my stats for 2022, I made 21.7%. My largest drawdown was minus 4.8%. Again, with the S&P, minus 20%, largest drawdown, minus 22%. So it vastly outperformed the S&P. So far in 2023, I'm actually down 3.6%. So this Uber trade, it's been kind of doing the perfect little dance around the trade, going up when when we want it to kind of go down, and going down when we kind of want it to go up. So it's doing this perfect little dance. We're down 3.6% with the Safe Wheel so far this year. So let's take a look at my positions. So last week I did the traditional wheel with this hedge on. I sold a put, and that put expired worthless because the Uber moved up. And you can see that it's affected this hedge. The hedge itself is losing money. because when I put on the hedge, Uber was probably around 25 or 26. So the question is this hedge good enough, right? Um, Currently trading 29.60. So I want to make sure that my hedge is 29.60, at least 70% of that times 0.7. So it needs to be around 21 and it's at 20. Let's take a look at what the possibilities for the hedges are. I could go to the 150 or stay with the 122s. Probably stay with the 122. So I'm kind of stuck in between here. I can either go to the 22.50 or remain with the 20. If there was a 21 available, I would probably roll to that 21, but it's not available. So I'm going to stick with the 20. I'm not going to move my hedge. And if you guys have any questions about that, be sure to ask, so make sure that I'm being clear about why I'm making this decision here. So what do I do now? Well, I'm going to run the traditional wheel. So I'm going to go ahead and sell something out of the money. So 29.50 would be out of the money. Not by a lot, but it is out of the money a little bit. And this one here, $29, is close to getting my premium. Not quite there, but again, we are on a Tuesday today. We're not on a Monday. We had a holiday. So because of that, this might be enough premium here. And I hope that makes sense also, right? Because if it was Monday, this premium would be over, this $29 or over this $29.50. It would probably be more than, might be $30. But the fact that it's Tuesday, I kind of give a little bit of lenience in terms of what the premium is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this 29. This 29.50 is kind of too close to the money. I could sell it, but I'm going to go ahead and sell the 29. And I'm only going to do one. So if I'm between $5,000 and $10,000, I'll do one tranche. If I had 10 to 15,000, I would do two. And so that's the sizing of this situation. Okay, so I'm going to sell one. It's going to expire on Friday. I'll collect a little bit of premium here. Okay, so there's the traditional kind of wheel, without the hedge. There's the traditional wheel. Now I'm going to do something else that's only the safe wheel, and I'm going to protect my current hedge. So I'm going to buy something. I'm going to buy a call with around $5 or $6. I don't think I can get this one for $6, so I'm going to go ahead and pay $5 for this one. Just one. Okay, so you can see here, I've got my hedge on. I've got my traditional wheel situation where I'm selling the put. And I've got this long call protecting this hedge. Okay, so that's all the trades for the week. Okay, good. So let's get into any questions that I might have. Oh, also I want to mention real quick that you can get the safe wheel flowchart and the safe wheel how to choose the right stock. I have that available for under $100. So you've got a system for 89 bucks, a total trading system that outperformed the S&P last year significantly for under 100 bucks. And that's if you just want to get the fast track. I mean, I give it away for free, but you would want to look through my live streams in order to get that everything. But you also want to, even if you purchase the safe wheel guidelines, you would still want to go through some of the live streams, some of the history, to give you a good feel. It's not going to give you everything you need. You still need to go through some of these live streams. Okay, Uma, was watching your video on Trading Dominion, which was a space trip trade. So in 2023, what was the performance? Okay, so you watched it recently. The performance in 2022, and is the Premier Level 5 the same as the space trip trade? So by the way, there is a link in the description if you're interested in my Premier Level 5 system. And that's if you have more capital, you want to get conservative with your capital. That's what I recommend, that I would do. That's what I would do. So are they the same? No, they're not the same. And the space trip trade has morphed into a different trade that people use. There's a couple trades that people use in Ron Bertino's group. And the space trip trade's kind of the old version of it, but you can watch that video for free and see what that space trip trade is. So there's two separate systems. You have the PL5, that's different than the space trip trade or the morphed version of the space trip trade. And then you have that morphed version, and that version I have a managed strategy for that. In other words, I do use that. That one did about 24% last year. And then I have my PL5, this one that did about 15% annualized. So they're different trades. And this year in 2023, the Premier Level 5 is outperforming the other trade, which is called the other trade. So yes, I hope that answered your question, but they're not the same. And I do use both of them. G Shepard, great to join your chat. Is that 5K account growth to 9K and account trading with margin under PDT rules? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm under the PDT rule. It is with margin. And I'm doing the same thing with the Safe Wheel. Both of those accounts are using regular margin. I don't know if I really use margin on the earnings edge, but I do have margin on there, so I'm going to say yes, I do. Mandishi, I have a 40K account. What sizing do you advise for earnings edge? Well, I wouldn't. Okay, if it were me, because I can't give financial advice, right? I would take, probably 35 of that and put it into the PL5, and then I would take 5 of it and put it into the earnings edge and try to grow it. Try to grow that earnings edge, take some risk with the 5, and take the 35, be conservative with it. That's what I would do. Did you adjust your hedge? No, I did not. The rules kind of called for an adjustment on the hedge because it was beyond 70%, but it called for a strike of around 21, and that particular strike was not available. It went all the way to 22.50. So since the 20 strike was closer to 21, I decided to stay with it. Hopefully that makes sense. What sizing would I use with the Safe Wheel on the 40K account? Well, if you're going to use the rules, which is a $30 stock or a stock between $20 and $40, for every $5,000, you use one tranche. When you sell the put or do a covered call, with the put hedge, you do 3. So I would be doing 8? I would have sold 8 puts today, and I would have 24 puts for my hedge if I had a $40,000 account. G Shepard, thanks. Okay, good. I'm glad I answered your question there. Some guy, I like that name. Hi, Carl. Just purchased your book. Looking forward to reading it. Someone's suggestion, maybe have larger fonts on the graphs. struggling to read. Oh, in the book, yeah. Um, wrote that book in 2019. I'm probably not going to make any changes in it, but I appreciate your input there. And also make sure to hit the like and subscribe and notification bell. Obviously, if you don't hit the notification bell, you're not going to get into this live stream. But if you hit the like and the subscribe button, it'll help me grow the channel and it'll help other people get access to this information. And that would be helpful for me, and I think helpful for them if you believe it'll help them, or other people, I should say. Okay, I don't see any more questions. Are there any more questions? All right. Well, I always like to say when I leave, there are two things. Number one, I will be back next week, right? On the, I think, usual time, Monday. And also, if the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? Okay, be back. I'll see you guys next week.